Become one with that boat in the water. Enjoy that being on the water. You didn't train to become an anxious rabbit being chased. You trained to enjoy flying over the water. You trained to enjoy being part of that nature, of that rocket feeling. You didn't train to be scared chicken shit. You have to understand that in a rowing race, everybody will fear and everybody will feel pain. Sometimes we think we're the only ones who suffer. Sometimes we think we row like idiots. Sometimes we think our technique sucks. Sometimes we think we're the only ones who just can't wait for that finish line to appear. All that fighting spirit, when that pain is here and that fear is there, is gone. But see, success comes when you take the next step without expecting to succeed. Just because it is your attitude to take it. Within a rowing race, you will soon feel that there is a certain point where insecurity just mounts up to peaks you did not realize were possible before. And my athletes know very well what it's like to fail during training, because we actually practice this. Failing in training is a substantial part. And you guys know that. You know, I'm now talking to all of you arm training athletes out there. Remember the high intensity stuff we did? This is exactly what helps you to fail. See, that's the point. You're halfway through the race. All right, it's just another, 3 minutes of high intensity or 2 minutes of high intensity. You have done this over and over and over and over again. What can be worse than that? Not one race. So for all of you guys, for all of you my arm training athletes, don't worry. A race would never be as hard as the training that we've done. Don't worry. The only difference is that we think that now we really have to perform. No. A race is like a poem you learn by heart. And we usually learn poems before we have to say them out loud in front of an audience. Now, you learned this poem. You learned this poem. You studied hard before. You were prepared. A race is nothing new. And when you race, I want you to do one thing. I want you to be the worst opposition somebody can fear. If you're not in the lead, I want you to make sure that whoever is in the lead can never be sure that she or he will not be overtaken. Because you will push as long as the race continues. Because you're trained to do that. Your body is able to do that. Your mind is able to do that. You can push and fail. You go in the race and say, I started failing many times during racing and training and race training. I can do this. Can you fail as well? What if one stroke doesn't go for you as well in the lead? Can you take this? You can never be sure that your lead is secure, because one little mistake and I got you, because I fight like crazy in the back. And even if I'm 5 lengths behind, never write me off. I can fail, buddy. And you might be stronger than I am, but I can fight harder. I can fail. And this is how I want you to race. If you're not in the lead, let everybody know, whoever leads you, don't be so sure that I will not catch you. One little mistake and I have you. This puts immense pressure on the leaders. Now, if you're on the lead, you don't settle, because you learn to fail. There is no race where you settle. So if you're in the lead, I want you to pull ahead. I want you to make it so damn clear that there is absolutely nobody who's able to touch you. Because if you're in the lead, you're trying to extend that lead as much as you can. Not one single stroke will be let off. If you're in the lead, you gotta make sure that everybody knows that if they want to catch you, they have to be a lot faster than they are right now. Because you are able to fail. You know what it's like to cope with fear of failing. You've done this before, and you're not scared to fail in a race, because you know nothing happens if you fail. So If you're behind, if you're about to lose in style. Lose in style and push all the way to the end. There's nothing worse than people who just give up because they're not in the lead. No. I don't care if you become first or last, but I care a lot about how you do it. How do you do this? Are you able to row intelligently? Are you able to row with technique? Are you able to live up to the standards that you set during training or not? This is what you have to ask yourself. I'm not a big fan of saying during a race, stop thinking. No, rowers are intelligent. Use your brain. Use your brain a lot. What was that? In team boats, absolutely crucial, guys. Support the system. There is absolutely no use to waste yourself physically if you're not supporting the technique system. What's the technique system? Leg drive, opening together. Leg drive, opening together. Leg drive, opening together. Now, within supporting this system, it makes sense to waste yourself. But just doing your own thing for the sake of being able to say at the finish, I gave it all, but in an unintelligent way, that doesn't get you any further. Now, support the system and then give it all you've got. Don't worry. If you feel like I cannot take a further stroke, you know from training that, there are many more strokes you can take. But it's crucial not to feel sorry for yourself. And everybody, trust me, everybody will feel sorry for her or himself. Everybody. Just before halfway. This is about where everybody starts to feel the pain, and this is where everybody will feel sorry for her or himself. And the question is, can you push exactly when it seems to be the hardest, because you have no fear of failing, or can you not? And I don't mean just slide forward faster, or just goof off and do your own thing, try to become tired. No, intelligently support the system, technique, and then effort. Make sure every drop of your effort is used as effectively as possible. Rowing is a sport that requires a lot of technique, and you know all about technique. Now use what you got, use your intelligence, and then give it all you've got. What if I give it all I've got and I've got 2 more races coming up? You should be able to do at least 3 to 4 races over the course of a couple of days, flat out. You trained for that. Don't worry, you can take this. Others might not be able to take it, but you will be. And you can fail, that's the point, see? Failing is something, and winning is something you don't start to do at a race. How many times have you envisioned how you will perform during the race? Before the race? Many times. Just do it. It's that simple. A race, be it the World Championships or a small regatta or a training, is the same thing. It always starts with the start and it always ends with the finish line. Some people may call it World Championships, some people may call it, this is the most important race of my life. It's just another race. And the question, what if I fail, cannot be answered until you fail. It's that simple. See, what makes us tired, what gives us a lot of burnouts and worries, is the what if question before it is time to act. It is the things that are not present right now. It's like fighting against windmills. There's nothing you can do. Now, if you try to change something in the aftermath, that's silly. It's not possible. So, the best thing you can do is relax, condition your mind, and prepare when it's time to act. Before this, it's something different. After that, it's something different as well. Now, what if I'm nervous? Good question. What if you're nervous? What is nervousness? It's a good thing because it shows you're really eager to do this. But I can't think of anything else. No. You gotta be smarter than that. See, our mind can only handle one thing at a time. We only have one CPU, Central Processing Unit. Try the following thing. Think of the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Exactly what it looks like. Is there wind? Is there no wind? Is it hot? Is it not hot? What will it look like if you look down? Alright, and then think precisely of your race strategy. At the same time, 100% focus. Try it out. I'll give you 5 seconds. Time's up. Now some people say, yeah, I was able to do this because I raced around the Eiffel Tower. That's not 100% focus. Yeah, I had 2 pictures at the same. It's not 100% focus. Our brain is not able to do this. Our brain is not able to focus 100% on 2 things at the same time. It does not work. No matter how smart you are and no matter what you've heard before, it is not possible. Now we can do automated things, of course, but that's not 100% focus. So if your mind is occupied with what if I fail, what if I worry, what if it's not, you do 2 things. First of all, you occupy your mind with things that are not effective. That's simply silly, and you're smarter than that. Second of all, if you think of the wrong thing, it changes something in your body chemistry. It releases hormones that create a lot of stress, and this actually blocks you from performing. Because all that stuff still is in your system when you try to race and you need a fresh body. You don't believe this? Alright, try the following thing. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think of a lemon that is cut in half. And you put it in your hand and you hold it right in front of your face. Now you squeeze it a bit and you see the drops of that half lemon dripping down. You squeeze it a bit more, more drops of lemon juice drop down. I want you to feel the lemon in your hand, I want you to hear the sound, and I want you to smell what the lemon smells like. Alright. And now, I want you to hear that drop on the floor. The juice. And now do the following thing. Bite into that lemon. Alright. If you've really done the exercise well, you will probably feel that you do have some juices in your mouth you didn't have before. Why? There is no lemon. Why is that? Because our body and our brain cannot tell the difference between what we envision and what is so-called reality. Which basically means that with whatever you think, you create your reality. Not just for your brain, but also for the body that receives signals from the brain. Now your brain told your body, send out hormones, produce juices. A lemon is on its way. And you know what it's like to eat a lemon. But there was no lemon. But the brain was so convinced that it produced juices. Now what does this have to do with the rowing race? Very simple. All these people who study their opposition long before the race is actually unfolding and say, oh, this guy's so strong, I've never beaten him before. Alright, you just set your own limits. I mean, how silly can you possibly be? You never know. This guy might have diarrhea. This guy might just have some other problems you're not aware of. And you might have just passed this guy in training. This guy, this girl. You don't know. Nobody knows until you find out. Until you race with the heart in your hand. Now to sum it up, guys, you gotta be the worst opposition to anybody you race. If you're behind, let everybody know one mistake and I get you, because I can fight like crazy. If you're in the lead, pull away. Make everybody sure that in order to catch me, you gotta be superhuman. Now, next thing, do it in an intelligent way. Support technique. If you're in a team boat, support the system. Technique first, then get wasted. There's no use being wasted without technique. Alright. What if you fear the race is too long, I don't know if I can do this? Occupy your mind with the right things. Don't think that, what if I can't do it? Who cares? Try out, find it out. I know that last time I give, who cares? This race has its own rules. It's your race. You are part of that. And even if you're 10 lengths behind, be the best loser in the world. Lose in style. Have the best race you can possibly race for you. Because there will be another race coming up. And every race you give up adds to races not used for training. And every race you win, easing off towards the finish, adds to races you haven't won in style. Guys, it is not the result you aim for. It is the way you race you aim for. Because after the race is before the race. And in the end, no matter if you say, this is my last World Championships, and if I don't make it, you will come back as a rower. Now, how would you feel if you have to think back to this race that's coming up now in 5 years and say, yeah, I was in the back and then it just gave in. It didn't make sense anymore. You started to believe a story that somebody has made up for you, or even yourself. Don't do that. What if you could think back and say, hey, I lost with 5 lengths, but I gave it all. I never have to worry that, what if I did something more? You gave it all. You're safe. It's good. In an intelligent way. What if I didn't, what if I hadn't caught that crab? You did catch a crab. So what? If you're afraid of catching a crab, you're afraid of catching a crab. Is there something you can change now? Do it. If there's nothing you can change now, stop worrying. Worrying makes you tight and anxious and tired. That's silly preparation. Don't do that. Enjoy the race. Go in the water. Enjoy the racing. Because this is what you choose to do. Enjoy the racing and be part of your team. If you're in a single, be part of that boat. Become one with that boat in the water. Enjoy that being on the water. You didn't train to become an anxious rabbit being chased. You trained to enjoy flying over the water. You trained to enjoy being part of that nature, of that rocket feeling. You didn't train to be scared chicken shit. Alright guys, I wish you a very good race, and I really want you to enjoy this. I want you to enjoy this and be as happy as you can possibly be. Feel free as you can possibly feel free. This is your life, this is your race. Eventually we're all gonna die. The question is, what do you do with your life? Good guys. I wish you all the best, and I'm looking forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.